Hi, it's Laura with Following the Paper Trail, and welcome to the 12 Projects of Christmas 2011. Third year doing this. I can't believe it. How time flies. Anyway, over the next couple weeks, every other day, I'm going to be presenting you with another project that can be a home decor item, a mini album. It might be ornaments. It might be gift ideas, might be gift wrapping ideas. Anyway, every other day up until Christmas, until we reach 12 projects, I'll be presenting you with another project. Today I have a mini album to show you. Super fast, super simple, super easy. Of course, you can make it more complicated by embellishing it, but the actual construction of the album is real simple, real neat, real tidy, real clean. This one is Wonderful Moments is what I titled this one. It's got some Prima flowers and bling, some real cute stuff on it, some of this really cool rayon ribbon that I'm in love with. But anyway, inside it uses envelopes for the pages, and they are attached to hinges in the base. A little bit different than the hinges that I've been using in many of my other projects. This one's a little bit different, and I'm calling this one Stack the Deck. I have some more complicated albums that we're going to be doing on Ustream as well, but this one is a super basic, simple one. I'm going to show you one a little bit different, also using envelopes. Super easy. You can make your own envelopes if you don't have access, but basically any size envelope will work. These right here are just some tags that are in there, but essentially here's the envelope. Then these envelopes are then each attached to the fins of the Stack the Deck binding technique. These cute little tags that I've got on each of the pages use Tim Holt's new Alterations die, the doily die, and then this has some Martha Stewart punching on these tags. So you can fill up your envelopes with as many tags as you want, and then go ahead and embellish them with whatever you want in terms of photo mats and journaling spots, that sort of thing. This one has a little flip up part there. Obviously you can make it out of Christmas paper, whatever paper, but fun, super quick, super easy. So here's a finished album, and now I want to show you the process of how it actually all goes together. I've kind of got one here prepped and get ready to go for you. So with this Stack the Deck binding method, as I call it, it uses very similar. This looks like one of my jointed hinges that I've used in several of my mini albums. For those of you who've seen them here on YouTube or on my Ustream show, use this a lot. Well, now I've got some that the kind of channel gets a little bit wider, and they stack on top of each other. So essentially, here is 1/4 of an inch, and then you're going to go 3/4 of an inch on each side of it. If you want a little bit more to grab onto, then make it 1 inch. Wouldn't go much less than the 3/4 of an inch, just because it gives you nice strength. You're going to score it so you have that 1/4 of an inch channel down the center line. So that's the first one. So it's 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1/4 inch in the middle for 1 3/4 inches. They stair step up by 1/2 inch in their width. So this has 3/4, 3/4, and 3/4. So this channel is 1/2 inch wider than the previous channel. Same with this one, 3/4 of an inch, 1 1/4 inches, 3/4 of an inch. So this one is 2 3/4 of an inch. Hope I did my math right. Doing that on the fly, adding in my head, dangerous thing to do. So when you're putting in pages, you're going to be doing them in even numbers, because this is going to create flanges that you will be able to attach. So you're going to score it and fold it on those fold lines. I would probably normally give this a nice crease with my bone folder, but for time's sake, I'm just going to finger press these. So you're just going to fold them at those score lines, and then you're going to stack the deck. I've already gone ahead, for time's sake, put some score tape. You can use red line tape, you can use adhesive, whatever your favorite adhesive is. You can glue these, whatever works for you and is your favorite adhesive. As we all know, different climates use different adhesives, work better. So these, you're going to just center it in the center. Trying to see through my bifocals around the camera, always tricky. So that's attached. to the center channel, and you should have about 1/4 inch on each side to the fold. And then this one's going to attach to the center of the next one down. Now I like to do with this method about 6 pages. 8 pages is probably the top I would go. If you really want to go to 10, you can. I got to set this down to do this. Alrighty, so there's basically my Stack the Deck binder, ready to go, ready to add my pages or envelopes to. And as I said, I have some more complicated methods that I'm also going to show you on Ustream. This coming up in the next couple of weeks. You can watch my blog at followingthepapertrail.blogspot.com for announcements of those and to see the samples. I'm also going to be doing a paper bag one using the same binding method. Okay, so once we got our deck all stacked and ready to go, our next thing is we're going to go ahead and put our adhesive on each side of each one of these flanges, kind of like pages already. You know, there are people who have made the pages like this and stacked it, but this just making this little binding element works really well. So what I've got here is I've got just some plain envelopes. Doesn't matter what size it is, because you're going to determine the height of your stack deck hinges by the width of your envelope, whether you want to go this way with your envelopes or this way. What you want to do is make your hinges slightly narrower than whichever direction that you're wanting to attach to the hinges. So I decided to keep these envelopes going in a horizontal fashion. If I wanted them vertically, my hinges would be taller. So just a little bit narrower than your envelopes. And what you're going to do then is go ahead and seal your envelopes closed. I already covered this side with the pattern paper, but seal them closed. Now I use an adhesive to seal them closed rather than the glue that comes on the envelopes. But that's up to you to do. You're then going to open it up at each end by trimming off the ends so that it essentially makes it into a tube. Then what we're going to do is we're going to start here at this one end, and I'm going to peel my tape off of one side. If you do it on both sides, I can guarantee you something will get stuck unless you're really good. And you're just going to slip that flange down inside, or the envelope over that flange goes down inside, and we're going to stick that down. And then this is a little bit trickier part. If you're really good at this, you can get this out. You can do both sides at the same time. And I've got these big old fat nails on, so it makes it hard to peel this off. Do you think I can see where my craft knife or something? No, there, we got it off. So just peel the paper off, stick that side down. After you've done those, then you can always add your pattern paper, or you can add your pattern paper before. So I have a piece of pattern paper that's going to go right on there. I then have all the rest of my pages ready to go. I'm just going to slip these on without sticking them down for time's sake, but you would peel off one side, slip your envelope over the hinge piece. You're going to do that with each of these. And they're just going to slip right on over. Quick and easy. So it's just stick right on down. Easy squeezy, fast and easy. Of course I can't see. There we go. Slips in there. All right. So essentially I have all of my pages on onto my spine, which is a solid piece rather than it being jointed like I've done on like my pickpocket album, that sort of thing. It's an all one piece and it's just stacked. So it's that stack the deck. So then once I have my album all assembled, and then you can put your pattern paper on after you assemble your album or before, whichever works for you. So after I get those all assembled, I then have a chipboard base that I've covered. So I've got a spine, which is 1/2 inch wider than the spine that is on my book. So if this was 1 3/4 inches, I'm going to make this 2 1/4 inches wide. And just like when we stack the deck of our binding system, we're going to stack this on here. Now I made this one a little bit taller to allow for some of my embellishments to hang over. So that's going to just stick down right onto that spine. Now when you're covering your album, you want to cover it with your paper. Now I've done this in 3 parts so that my spine is a separate paper. You can do this to where maybe have a seam down the middle, or you have the spine covering like I have here, or if it's small enough, you can do it out of a single sheet of paper. But when you're at your joints of your chipboard, you want to make sure that that is twice the width of your chipboard, so that when you fold it up, it'll allow the chipboard to fold and make a binder without it cracking your paper. So you can also then wrap it, either cover your boards with either edge to edge like I have here to where the chipboard edges are exposed, or you can have it wrap around to the inside and put lining pieces on. But I've just put some kind of decorative pieces on here just to add some more color to it. So once you have your chipboard cover ready to go, then you're going to peel the adhesive off of here, or if you're using glue, apply your glue, and then that is going to attach down to the center of your spine of your book, and then it'll be in there absolutely nice and tidy, just like in this one. See how tidy and clean that is? It just really makes for a really nice finish. Now this one I have a ribbon going through because I have the ribbon to wrap around to the outside to add this spine dangly here. But it just makes nice and clean, and by having that 1/4 inch gap in there, it gives some breathing room for all of your embellishments, depending on how chunky of an album you like to make. But this just works with any size envelope. As I said, you just figure out which ends you want to cut off your envelope and measure slightly less than this height in order to get the height of your Stack the Deck spine. And this is your Stack the Deck spine. Now I have a modification to this same, oh, before I go on to that, then you also can then make tags that then slip down inside your envelope. How easy squeezy, fast and ready to go is that? You can. I did that one this morning. I actually made 3 of these this morning. So super fast, super quick, super easy. You know, when we're in that get it done for the holidays mode. So this second one, and I don't have a cover put on this one yet because I kind of wanted to add the last page on here for you. This one has a little bit more real estate, and it uses 3 envelopes per page. So here's the first envelope, and it's got a tag that fits in there. Nice big tags too for your big photographs. It's got a tag that fits inside the center pocket, and then on the back side it also has a tag, plus the surface area you have on the front and the back. So there's room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 photos per page. Again, you're going to want to do an even number. To start this one out, you're going to make your Stack the Deck spine just like we did on the previous one. So we'll make that, and we're going to use the measurement of this envelope. No, actually we're using the measurement of the white envelope here, just like we did on the other one. It's going to be that same height. Because what we've done is I've got all my pieces here. So here's the envelope that's in the center, the tall one, and it's running horizontally. I've then taken 2 smaller envelopes, and I'll seal these all closed, and then what I like to do is the closure. I put that to the inside, and I'm going to sandwich the white envelope in between these 2 blue ones that are the same. Remember, before you sandwich this all together, you want to cut the ends off of each end, just like we did on our first one, to make this envelope into the tube, because this is essentially the page. These are the piggyback envelopes that are just attaching to each side. So I've got one I'll put together here already to show you. So you can see, opened into a tube at each end, and then I've also opened up the envelopes right here, and then what I'm going to do is take a piece of my pattern paper, and it doesn't have to go all the way down inside the envelope. It can just be a much smaller piece, and this is going to slip down inside about 1 inch and then attach to that envelope, so that pattern paper and that covers over that seam and gives it a little bit more strength. I then can put a piece of pattern paper on top of this envelope. Do the same thing over on the other side. Oops, I already got them sitting in there. This is a little short one that just pops in there like that. This guy goes on here. And then I've got the tags that I've made that fit. The wide ones can fit inside the wide envelope. Oops. Since that's not attached down, it wants to slide away. And then I also have the tall envelope, or the tall tag that fits inside this one. So this is essentially the same construction, because then we're also going to be attaching this piece. Let me pull my tags out real quick so I can show you how to attach this. So I've got this guy here, and I have one spot left on this album with this tab. Let's see if we can get these tapes off. I have also found, and I forgot to do it on the first one, if you take and peel this back just a little bit and make a little tab, it makes it a little easier to pull it off. Okay, so I'm going to open this guy up. I'm going to slide him down over the top. I'm going to do this without it sticking. Bring it down to just to the joint. Stick that down. You can flip it over. Pull that little tab that I had bent back. Pull that piece of tape out. So there's my last page. The beauty of these pages is look how nice and flat they lay. They don't stick up and that sort of thing. So again, here's the back side of my Stack the Deck spine assembly, and this will then attach to the spine. This is not going to match at all, but it will attach to the spine in the same fashion of my cover for this album. And you figure out the size of your cover based on the size of what your finished album is going to be. You usually want to extend, have at least a 1/4 inch top and bottom, and maybe a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, depending on what kind of embellishments you're going to do to make your covers. And again, your spine is this width plus 1/2 inch, because you want that 1/4 inch on each side. Easy squeezy. This one's just got the same envelopes attached to the Stack of the Deck spine, and then you just add the piggyback envelopes onto each side. Gives you 3 pockets per page. Quick and easy. I'm going to have more stuff on my blog with a tutorial and some further instructions, but can work with any size envelope. It doesn't matter what size you can get a hold of, or you can make your own envelopes as well. Lots of YouTube videos on how to make your own envelopes. So anyway, there you go for your first project of Christmas. Again, on my blog, followingthepapertrail.blogspot.com, will be further tutorial on how to make these 2 albums. And stay tuned. In 2 days, you'll get the second project of Christmas. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.